Coming up, an interview with two different multi-platinum artists who both wrote #1 hits for a massive blockbuster franchise. There are really entertaining stories here for sure. How the Hollywood executives wanted this really long movie title as the chorus of the song, but nothing rhymed with it. Find out how they solved it, plus the story behind the #1 song from the sequel. The story's next on Professor of Rock. Hey music junkies, Professor of Rock, always here to celebrate the greatest artists and the greatest songs of all time. And make sure to subscribe below right now to be a part of our Music History Daily, straight from the artists. And if you like, check out our exclusive content on Patreon by clicking on the link in the description. That helps us keep this channel alive, and we give you a lot more content there. Now with Halloween coming up, as well as the new sequel to Ghostbusters, it's called Ghostbusters Afterlife. That's going to be dropping soon. I thought it'd be really cool to release our full Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters story.
Strange in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
This is the full story, as well as some insight from Bobby Brown on the story of his 1989 hit from Ghostbusters 2, On Our Own.
Take control.
So let's get right into it. As we go into this interview, I do want to thank our sponsor, Zenni Eyewear. I wear these things every day. I love them. They're lightweight. I own about 15 pairs, so I've worn them for over a year. I love that you can have 3 or 4 pairs for the price of what you would pay for just one with other companies. You got to check it out at zenni.com today. Trust me, I've used them for a year. I love them. Now here's a story of the music from both Ghostbusters. I want to ask you about On Our Own. I remember going out and buying the cassette single and just loving that song. That's, I think, one of your best songs, if not the best. I just, so much energy in that.
That's the song I open up with, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it has that oomph to it. I was asked to do, produce a couple of records on Ghostbusters soundtrack. And I had did the A side of On Our Own was a song called We're Back. And that was the first one that I recorded. Then I wanted to do a little something strange, so I asked Face and them if they would write a song, you know, for the Ghostbusters soundtrack with me. And they came with this On Our Own, and once I heard it, it was just like, oh my God.
It was made for you.
Yeah.
When you do your high pitch, too hot to handle, too cold to hold.
Yeah.
You know?
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold. They call the Ghostbusters and the end control.
I remember rooting so hard for that song because it was at #2 behind. One week it was Richard Marx, Right Here Waiting. Another week it was Bat Dance by Prince. And I was just like, what? Come on, man. It's got to be #1. Well, 1984, I mean, how could you prepare for the life-changing event that would be the Ghostbusters song? Talking about #1 pop, sold in the U.S., France, Canada, Belgium, Africa, top
everywhere,
5 worldwide.
everywhere.
And of course, being a fan of the movie, and when I first heard the song, I thought you were Lando Calrissian. You know, when you're a little kid, you don't put in, that's Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, right,
you don't think of the actor, you think of Lando Calrissian. I'm like, Lando Calrissian singing the Ghostbusters song.
this
This is amazing.
That's amazing. That works. We're different ages, but they went back and got a picture of him, and we look just alike.
You do.
It's hard to tell one from the other.
But you were approached by the film producers to create the theme song. You only had a couple of days, as I remember.
I got a phone call from Gerald Busby to see this band called The New Edition. Well, they wanted to record Mr. Telephone Man. So that was the first time I'd been in LA in a while. I was in Spago's eating, and there was a black poster, and they were just painting the red circle. The phone rings, and it's Gary LeMel saying, you got to help me on this film. You're the guy to do it. I know you can do it. Right? He was 100% sure that I could do it.
Well, they had already had like 60 songs.
A lot of people. Yeah, they had a bunch of songs. And Gary says, man, we got a problem here. The director don't like anything. The movie's coming out in a few weeks. I need this song. And he says, but I need the words Ghostbusters in the song. He gave me very specific. He says, I want saxophone line in it. Because he wanted it to sound like a bar band music. And if you think bar band, when I was in the bar,
Oh, yeah.
so I know we're gonna play those chords, boom, 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 boom. That's bar band. That's what a bar band does. So, you know, I went to see the film and everything was going. I met the director. He told me exactly what I said. I need a little saxophone, need some bar band, need some da-da-da. But it needs to be up-tempo, you know, don't make it too slow because the movie's got action in it, it needs to get going. And I sat there like, okay, I got it. And I said, I don't know what to do. And I thought, this would be simple. He wants some bar band thing. Then he throws the curve at the end of the meeting. But I want the words Ghostbusters in the song. It's like, Ghostbusters. And he said, yeah, Ghostbusters. You know, see, now you say Ghostbusters. That's because you heard the song.
Exactly.
But before you heard the song, it was like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Think about that for a minute. What rhymes with Ghostbusters? Nothing.
And wait a minute, worse than that, you can't even sing. It sounds stupid when you just, I love a Ghostbuster. I mean, there's no way you could say this word.
No.
Then it occurred to me, no wonder they got 60 songs and nobody's liked it over here. This is
How
a hell of a job.
That?
No wonder they're paying me this. This is impossible, you know. But there's this part of the movie where the Ghostbusters had their backpacks and they got their things and they got the phone number underneath it.
The 555 number.
Pick up your phone and call the professionals. Go Ghostbusters.
So 4 a.m, I'm sleepy. I got all the music's done. I got no words, none. And then the commercials come on TV. And I think it's a pesticide or Roto-Rooter commercial. I don't know what it is, but something like that. And the guys had their bug machines or whatever, this pesticide spray thing. And they had a phone number in here. And they said, call this number if you want to get rid of so-and-so. I'm like, that looks like the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Call. I had no, now I know it's like the phone number. Forget the Ghostbusters, the phone number. And I thought, well, I got to say, who you going to call? And I said, if I do that, what that allows me to do is never say the word Ghostbusters. And then I'm going to have a crowd answer Ghostbusters. It's who you call. And I said, because it's a crowd, they're not really in the record. They're not musical. So that takes away the word Ghostbusters. That gets it out of the song.
Exactly.
So we can have a song. And I can sing who you going to call.
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
And the magic that happened is you got me from Detroit with my sort of Detroit accent. Who you gonna call? I'm doing, I ain't afraid of them. But then you got these Valley girls with that stiff, I mean, real, you know, Los Angeles Valley. So it's like East Coast meets West Coast and they're like, you know, someplace else. And it just worked. It's just one of those things.
The call and response is brilliant because that goes back to music forever. The call and response goes back to jazz. It goes back to, right?
Exactly.
I'll take you there.
The other thing that's brilliant about it is because you have people shouting it, so immediately anybody is going to sing it.
Right.
Because you don't have to have a great voice.
You don't have to have a great...
You're involving everybody and saying, who are you going to call? And then they're going to
respond to you.
It's just so brilliant for a movie. The other thing, too, is that the 3 most memorable lines have become part of our everyday lingo as a human race. I mean, you think about who you going to call.
That's the
I ain't
first
afraid
one.
no ghost.
And
right?
Bustin' makes me
and
feel
Bustin'
good.
makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good.
The video also
the
iconic.
Video. Yeah, that was
it was
crazy.
kind of putting you everywhere. I remember that green jacket you had. I wanted that green jacket.
Oh, really?
So I tried to go out and look for one, you know. But I mean, that was like
everybody was in that video.
I know.
I mean,
you had
Donald Trump was in the video.
Don't know where the cards may fall.
Again, the Bobbyisms, you know it, you know, and the bam, you know, and heart soul, dance. Yeah, they were Bobbyisms. They were kind of your chatter.
You know what? I'm gonna use that Bobbyisms.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So take us through it a little bit, if you don't mind, because I'd love to hear you play it.
Well, first of all, we're going to go back to those same 2 chords.
Yep.
And by the way, people think it's a simple song, and most bar bands mess it up because the magic's in the guitar part.
Yeah.
And the guitar doesn't play on the downbeat like, it plays on 2, rest. But then you got to have this rhythm.
Yeah.
So it lands on an interesting beat. Then the other part is actually triplet time. So it's actually a little funkier than you would think.
Yeah, totally.
But in order to play it right, the other thing I thought of is everything had to be military time. It had to be stiff. So the guitar is a little looser because it plays that rhythm, but everything else is and it's very Gestapo, very military, very, that's why, I remember I used to watch Gomer Pyle.
Sergeant Carter, sir! I can't hear you!
So at the end I got, calm sound of, I can't hear you. Remember you saw yell at Gomer? So it's that march, everything is marching.
I can't hear you. Who you gonna call?
Well, there's so many different melodies to it too.
Yeah.
Because even when you the I hear it likes a girl,
Exactly.
dun, 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 with the saxophone coming in.
And that's Charles singing that part.
Yeah.
I hear it likes the girls. It's like everybody. It's one of those things, we couldn't do anything wrong. Put the instruments up as fast as I could, and I used whatever sounds were sitting in front of me.
Well, it's also when you hear the beginning of the song and you hear that's all an intro or synth, of course.
That sounds like something I heard as a kid. I just remember that meant spooky. So I said, I'm always do that. If I get a chance, I'm gonna do that. Then I put the drums on. I mean, it was one of those moments in history.
It all came together.
You couldn't mess up.
You can't even really
couldn't mess up. I had a sequencer,
describe it.
Jupiter 6. I had the drum machine, and everything I played. That's what we kept. We didn't spend any time getting the sounds up. Just plug in. Let's go. What's the first sound? Okay, that's it.
Well, it has such a likable, fun lyrics too. Like when you say an invisible man's sleeping in your bed, and then you come out underneath the bed with the video.
Now, who you gonna call?
Ow!
An invisible man sleeping in your bed. Ow.
Who you gonna call?
I mean, was that something that you were just in the studio and you're just kind of having fun? It sounds like.
It's worse than that. The messenger was coming at 9 o'clock. The girls left at 8 o'clock because they had class at 8 o'clock, the girls and a couple of guys.
Yeah.
So between 8 and 9 o'clock, I'm panicking because I got no words. I just got who you gonna call and the kids singing Ghostbusters. I don't have no verses. I ain't got none of that. So, and I didn't need all of it, by the way, at that time. I just needed the first verse, right? And so I put the first verse on with the messenger in the door. We locked him out. Right, so we didn't let him in. Just told him you got to wait outside. And I took a microphone with the speakers playing, no headphones on, just started singing and made up some words and that was it.
And it's got those classic Ray Parker nuances. That's why it must have felt pretty good to know that. I mean, and this is the truth. I don't think there's anybody in the universe that could have written that song the way it was written except for you. You just,
thank you.
It came together, the nuances. The bridge, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. And then,
everything means 2 or 3 things.
That's so you. I love the vocal too. Great vocal is if you had a dose of freaky ghost, baby.
If you've had a dose
call.
of a freaky ghost, baby.
You've had a dose of a freaky ghost, baby.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
That's
How
the
did
one.
that come?
That's the one. I don't know where that came from, but it's
Let
like
me tell you something.
Yeah, tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good. That's after everything you've done. Guess what? And it's not just that. After everything you've done, let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good. Yeah, right.
Then don't get caught alone. No.
Yeah.
Don't get caught alone. No.
When it comes through your door, unless you just want some more. You know what I mean?
Well, Martin Page.
Those guys are wonderful. Martin and Brian.
The guys from Q-Field.
So he said, come in and play on this track. And all we heard was like, who are you going to call? Who are you going to call? We thought, this isn't very good. First thing we're on sounds crap. And then, but within 2 weeks, it was #1 and we played on the track and Ray was, one instrumental in helping us get through the door.
And they came up with some of those great little parts and stuff.
Well, and of course, Martin Page, a couple of years later, wrote a couple of #1 hits himself with
That's
Bernie
right.
Taupin.
Yeah.
So.
We built this city on rock and roll. These dreams go on when I close my eyes.
Well, the video, I mean, it's so classic because of the neon, perfect for the 80s with the neon lights and you had the neon microphone and you're perfect for the video.
Let me tell you about the video. That was it. We were panic stricken when Ivan Reitman says, but it needs to be longer. And we said, maybe we should make a record. I only cut like 1.5 minutes of it. And the Clive Davis was wondering, you're going to have a song where you sing about a ghost? I mean, what? We've been working on your career for like years. You got the girls, the ladies love you. What are you doing singing to go with? And, so I'm thinking, well, how does this work now? Now we're all getting scared. We're really getting scared. I mean, like everybody laughs, not because the biggest record in the world, but at the time we're like, well, maybe we shouldn't let it be a single. When I did it, they told me it's just going to be the library scene, And I sort of came up with the idea. I said, well, you know, if you got Dan Aykroyd, if you do the Saturday Night Live guys on it with me, maybe it'll just be a spoof like for Saturday Night Live, and it won't be a serious video. Maybe they won't take it as serious. Then Ivan Reitman took that idea and just ran with it. He said, let's put everybody in a video.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I guess that could work, you know. And so that's how the video.
And you have all these cameos. I can't even name them all. There's so many of them. Your cameo. Tell me about your cameo in Ghostbusters.
It was so much fun to shoot. I hadn't laughed so much on a set of anything. Bill Murray is probably one of the funniest people in the world without even trying to be funny. He's like he's so serious about everything. And I don't know if he knows he's being funny, but I was laughing the whole time I was on that set. And it was just fun to, you know, be a part of something that was, you know, that iconic. And,
so iconic.
Yeah. You know, Ghostbusters will always be remembered.
And the shirts. I mean, I've got a picture of myself when I'm 8 years old holding 2 fish in my hand, the Ghostbusters shirt.
Yeah.
And then there's a picture of my son.
Yeah.
He's 8 years old. He's got a Ghostbusters shirt on. I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah. The most amazing thing is that the kids know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I meet a kid 5 or 6 years old.
Doesn't matter what it is.
They hear it on the TV, they know the song, they know the thing, and they start smiling, you know.
Tell us about jamming with the Ghostbusters at the end, Bill Murray, the rest of the guys. When you're teaching Bill Murray how to break dance.
I never met the guys till that moment.
Wow.
And Bill Murray came up with the idea of breakdancing. And then he said, hey, spin me around. So he's got me spinning him around. It was just the craziest thing.
Nominated for an Oscar, won a Grammy, and that was Stevie Wonder. Stevie beat you, just come and say
I beat him in England. I got the BAFTA award. But, you know, that's bittersweet. Had I won the Oscar, I don't think me and Stevie would have ever spoke again. If I took Stevie Wonder's first Oscar and I was his student and it was dead quiet sitting there, I'm sitting with Stevie Wonder, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know what to do here. If I win, I'm obviously going to thank him because he showed me how to write songs.
And the winner is, I would wake up, but I never thought that this would happen.
What an honor.
I know.
The guy who taught me how to write songs, who I think is the genius of the 20th century, I'm nominated for an Oscar against him.
I know.
And a Grammy against him. I mean, come on.
If I had to list all of the movies or TV shows that have used that, we'd be here all day.
Yeah.
It's been used in the cartoon series, the video games, Lego Dimension, Stranger Things 2.
Yeah.
Every generation picks up on it, right?
Yeah. And for me, one of the best things about it is when my kids were growing up, I was their hero. I don't think it gets any better than that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, the best part of the song is when I see 5 or 10-year-old kids and they're smiling happy. And everywhere I go, they're just so happy. And that's, to me, surpasses the fame, surpasses the money. It surpasses everything.
Yeah.
Because you look them in the face and they just give you that look like,
joy.
I love you. I mean, it's just, it doesn't get any better than that. They just love you, you know.
Unless you just want some more, I think you better call Ghostbusters.
But your line in that is so classic, man. You got one of those proton packs?
Hey, you guys got another one of those proton packs? My kid brother really wants one.
The proton pack is not a toy.
Probably wouldn't even mean to do this because it was just a movie song, but the way that you said it, you got to learn to take control. Yeah. In my life at that moment, like, that inspired me, man. That line, my prerogative to that song, did that for so many people because you really spoke.
Yeah.
So many
people. It actually did it for me, you know? And to be able to, I have a 7-year-old son, and for him to be able to see all of that, see it now, and watch Ghostbusters now and be like, Daddy, that's my daddy. And for him to go to school and his classmates are, you know, amused that, you know, that he's my son and that I'm Bobby Brown. And, I mean, I'm almost 50. I'm closer to 50 than to 40. So to be in this industry, have been in this industry for 33 years and to still be relevant in the industry, I'm so grateful to, you know, the people who I've followed and the historians like yourself that just know music, man. You know your music.
You probably already knew this, but On Our Own was actually just named one of the top 30 songs from a movie by a major website, Consequence of Sound. And they had that as one of the top 30.
Wow.
But Grand Theft Auto also just
I
used
can
it.
remember to go after them.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to leave us a comment about the Ghostbusters songs. What are your memories of the movie, both movies, and the music? Let us know below. If you like our content, we do invite you to subscribe below and check us out on Patreon to support our mission of keeping the music alive. It's very important. Until next time, 3 chords and the truth, my friends.